Greetings, Commanders! Welcome to the Galactic Battle Season 4. Season 3 is in the books. Congratulations to CHB and Blue Sky or Vera on taking home their third victory in a row. God, is it really their third in a row? Okay, well, Season 4 has begun and the rules have changed. So we're making this video real quick just to cover those things because there's going to be a lot more guilds in the Galactic Battle this season. They've opened it up to, instead of the top 3 guilds from every server, it's the top 3 guilds from every server and the top 5 from the oldest servers. So I think that makes room for like 20, let's see. That's another 40 guilds out of the 80 servers. So I don't know. It's a lot more players. So we're going to see a lot more smaller guilds getting a chance to compete, even if they're not in the biggest guild on their server. So let's talk about the rule changes. The main ones are going to be that you get participation points just for being inside the arena. So when you enter the battlefield, every 10 minutes, you get your Ark's level in points plus 4 times 100. So I don't know if this is exact, but it's pretty darn close to it. Every 10 minutes, I was getting 2,500 points for my guild. And that means every Ark in there that's, let's say, level 21 was getting 2,500 per 10 minutes. And what's great about this is that it encourages much larger participation from guilds. So it encourages more players to get into the battle and do something, or at least jump around and hide from other players coming to attack them. And it takes away the complete ranger meta. Now, commanders have such high leadership that sending anything but rangers is risky. However, if you wanted to use strengthened weakened effect gear and tier suppression with just 1 unit per slot, that's a very viable strategy. And Vera in the finals last season took my bullet strategy and augmented it with, I call it my bullet strategy. He took bullet and he put strength and weakened gear on him, and he put 1 Yeti per slot in the front row, and then Rangers in the back row. And we haven't named it yet. I think something along the lines of, like, I don't know, Swee Yeti or Swee Bullet, something like that. The Swedish Yetis. I don't know, because if you put 1 Yeti in front, it kills all Ranger-only marches. So in order to kill the front row, you'd have to send a higher tier troop, that was Walker or Airship, which are worth points. And he was only risking 2 Yetis, 2 points per Yeti, and he only had 3 of them, and then behind he had a ton of pointless Rangers. But Rangers with Ghost Cannon can score points, right, against... they can score points against higher tier because they can ignore tier suppression. So behind it, he had a golem with a bunch of tier 10 or tier 11 at the time. Tier 11 had just come out. So anyway, he had this new strategy of taking strongholds where basically he would bait someone into sending points, and then behind it, if they didn't pull fast enough, they would get crushed by a golem who had first strike with a bunch of troops. So that strategy is still going to be viable. We're going to see more of that, and we're going to see a lot more ships on the field. So what that means is your guild needs to start building Rangers so everyone can join in, because you don't even have to fight in galactic battles anymore. If you just show up with more ships, technically you could take the lead and win. You don't have to even engage a stronghold or an enemy Ark. And if they do come to your side, you can call rallies on them or attack them, and they can attack you. Now remember, in galactic battle, if you massacre someone's army, you do get points. So from our last galactic battle, let's see, there's some fights here. I was going after ships, and I was able to score pretty good. Just having fun, just trying it out. There's a hit. Sorry, Clamhammer. I'm friends with these UFF guys, and I know that was a tough one. I just jumped behind enemy lines and just started hitting the baby Arks, because those baby Arks were farming points for them. And if you don't defend them, then I'm going to go massacre them. So there's a weird meta that's going to be coming. You're going to see a lot of guilds showing up with tons and tons and tons of ships just to farm points, which is going to make the other team go on the offensive to either attack those ships that are farming points just for being there, or you are going to see... I don't even know where I was going with that. Okay, you're either going to start seeing a lot more farming ships that are empty, totally empty, just like, because listen, if they're full of Rangers and you massacre Rangers, you get 0 points. If they're full of high tier troops, you get some partial points of what those troops were worth when you massacre them. But if they bring in a bunch of ships that don't have any troops because they filled the hospital up before they came in, then or they massacred themselves on purpose and then joined the galactic battle, you're just going to have a bunch of empty ships on one side And even if opponents do come to hit those ships, you don't get points for warping the ships. In the patch notes, it said you were going to get points for warping, but in our research, it shows that you do not get points for beating an opponent's Ark and warping them. So they're going to have to add that real quick. Otherwise, guilds are just going to empty out their points or bring in a bunch of alts and kick their mains. I don't know what they're going to do. If honestly what guilds can do is they could make like an extra backup guild, and they can just shift all their players out of the guild into that backup guild, and then fill up their current guild with just a bunch of level 10 arcs with no points on them, and then just sit in the galactic battle and just have 1 or 2 ships defending strongholds. I mean, I don't know. It's going to get weird. We're going to see how it fleshes out. I think they're going to make some changes throughout the season, but as of right now, we've got 3 new gems, which are going to change the meta of holding strongholds. I don't know how much it's going to make the meta change with attacking strongholds. And what I mean is all the gems that came out are defensive gems, and it's going to heavily strengthen commanders that have like X and Stella and Rogers. Commanders that survive more rounds and go further rounds are going to trigger these skills more often to make them much more potent, as even though they're already incredibly potent. So Galileo and Blader are going to look even better. So anyway, yeah, the new season's coming. It's going to be exciting. So here's what's on the table for us. We are going to see a new prize pool. Oops, excuse me. And this time around, we are going to have a crack at Elf. So the top 32 teams are going to be getting... Actually, it's higher than that. Let me see. The top 80 teams. The top 80 teams are going to get Elf. So that's cool. That's really opening up the field for everyone. Last time we got Moon Shadow. And before that was, I forget, before that was Echo. So, yeah, she'll be joining the field here soon. And so will Full Metal. But... that's the new Galactic Battle. Get your guild involved, you know, rally together, join up, play the game, and try it out, you know. Marching speed, arc movement speed seems to have increased, so you can actually move around the map a little faster now. So if you want to invade the enemy side, you can just have all your buddies garrison your arc and just head into enemy territory, and here come the notifications. You're being scouted. Someone's sending... invaders are marching on you. So anyway, the Galactic Battle is a lot of fun. If you haven't competed in one and you watch these videos, you are missing out. Is probably the most important aspect of this game. The only reason I really played this game, or not anymore, but back then, back in the day, there was a time where this game got pretty stagnant once I figured out how I wanted to play. And then the only thing that kept me going was the Galactic Battle. And to this day, it's one of the main things that keeps me coming back. It is a lot of fun. It really gets your heart going. It's an adrenaline rush. And it's a big part of the game. So if you are not currently in a guild that does Galactic Battle, join one. Or if you're in a guild that can, sign up for it. Yeah, so if you want to know how Galactic Battle works, if you win, you get 5 points. If you win, you get 10 points. If you lose, you get 5 points. Depending on how many points you score, breaks the tiebreaker on how many points you have for your victory. So right now, it's only the first week in. Everyone with a victory has 10 points, including my guild, God Chaos. We are on server 367. But we are tied for first place with all these people. So the reason we're ranked number 9th and not number 30th is because of how many points we scored. We had a huge game against UFF. We exchanged a lot of points. So they scored really high. We scored really high. Even though they lost, they're still going to be at one of the highest rating 5-point teams. So on the right-hand side, you see all these 10-point teams. So these are all the teams that won. But the way they're sorted out is by who scored the most points in their game. And the team in first place is going to play the team in second place. So 1 fights 2, 3 fights 4, 5 fights 6, 7 fights 8, and that's how it goes. So whatever the even number is, they fight the odd number under them. So 8 fights 7, 33 fights 32, 30, okay. Whatever the even number is, they fight the odd number below them. So 34 fights 33, 78 fights 77, and so on and so forth. So that's how you know who you're getting matched up. If you win the match, you get 10 points. You lose the match, you get 5 points. As the season goes on, no one's going to win every single game. Even CHB will give away games now and again. So, yeah, that is Galactic Battle Season 4. We'll be doing some live streams and stuff when the time arises, when there's good matchups on the horizon. I'll check line chat a day or two before, and people that have really good matchups will let us know. And hopefully it's community people we know on both sides of the field so we can tune in and watch live. If they happen around 6 to 11 Pacific Standard Time, I'll probably throw some live streams out there. So subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon if you want to watch the live streams and stuff like that. And of course, always add me on Line. Line is a social app we use to communicate with other players in this game as well as our own guildmates. The app is called Line, L-I-N-E. It's a green little app. Find it in the App Store or the Android Store or Google Store. And add me. I'm Melt AOW. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. We will see you in the Galactic Battle Season 4. I'm out.